Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on June completed pages and I'm really excited about it. I love watching these videos and I am hoping that someone enjoys it as much as I enjoy theirs or other YouTubers. So I guess we should just, oh, wait a minute. No, I have exciting news. I don't know why I'm finding this exciting, but I have a troll. Again, I have no idea why I was excited by that, but I guess it was a little bit of, that saying that, imitation is the best form of flattery. In some weird way, and I do know it's weird, I kind of feel like, oh, someone took the time to bash one of my videos, but it wasn't just bashing, it just was sarcastic. But anyway, I kind of feel like, okay, maybe I'm going to make it as a YouTuber because I already have a troll. So I know that sounds insane, but that's the way I thought about it. So let me just push these books over to the side and then I will briefly talk about my stats. And then we'll move on to looking at what I colored. So, okay, here's my little notebook. I'm probably going to do something. If I like doing this, maybe I'll get a little fancier about it. But right now, it's really simple. But I'm excited to show you these. YouTube channel. I ended off my last video with a whopping 23 subscribers. I now have 266. So I'm up 243. And I'm really excited by that number. I know that's not a lot in the scheme of things with YouTubers, but I'm really happy with it. So thank you for everyone that subscribed and even everyone that made comments. It was really nice to kind of communicate with people and, know that they liked what I was doing. And then, I'm kind of making some friends and, I'm getting a couple of buddy colors. So I'm really enjoying the comments. I've so far responded to every one of them. I think I have a few new ones that I will respond to. But thank you so much, guys. It was really awesome to see comments and subscribers and, really made me feel like warm and fuzzy on the inside. So with Instagram, I ended the last video with 697. I now have 744, so I'm up 47 people. So again, thanks, guys. With completed pages, I think I have 9. This says 4 are from Untouched Books. I'm not sure if it's 4 or really 3 because in T's and Lovella's, June, hashtag June Color Your Horde, I only wrote 3 down. So I don't know who the 4th one is. So I'm going to go through it and we'll see if I actually have 4. I did use 4 hashtags. But the June Color Your Horde actually had 3. Then I did the Witch Cat Spooky from Christina's Art Corner in the Spooky book. And then I have hashtag Year of the Dragon, which is Library of Color by Lit. That is also the Spooky book. So, I use these 2 hashtags with one coloring because there's a dragon in it. And then I did the hashtag Pride Man with Lipstick with Samway's coloring in the Dark Fables book. I have 2 buddy colors. One is a group buddy color with the ivy and the inky butterfly. That is still a whip. I have not completed that, so I'm not showing it. And the one I did complete was with Spare Room Studio. And Jackie and I did a Wildflower Folk. I don't know why I find that title a tongue twister, but I have to go slow every time I say it. So in Christine Karen's book, we did the Sparrows page. So I'll show that. So right now, that is all I'm tracking. Again, thank you everyone for commenting and subscribing. And we'll see what next month brings. Okay, the first book I'm going to show is the Disney Dreams collection by Thomas Kincaid. I did the Tinkerbell page. Wow, this is so hard. I didn't do badly, but I'll just show it to you and you'll see. This is what I did. This is the original. Let me see if I can back this camera up. And I have like a really terrible system here, so I don't think I can. This is the original. Here is mine. I like it. I just think it stressed me out way too much to try to get close to these colors. So I just made mine a little bit more purple. I tried to get the figures in. I tried to get some lights. Yeah, this is really, really a hard book, man. Really hard. So I started to veer off a little bit with the colors and not really worrying if I, made this grass or city the same as this city. So yeah, I felt much better once I let go of the desire to make it look the same. I'm never going to get anywhere close to this guy. This guy's like, a genius, right? Like he's a great artist. I can't do that with pencils. Certainly not at this stage of my life. And I'm not sure I really want to keep trying. I think I'm just going to work the rest of the book with, an idea of these are sort of the, it's a warm color palette, and I'll do that. But to try to make it look exactly was way too stressful of an adventure. And, something like that, Jesus, these are really gorgeous, detailed paintings. And I don't know if I can get that with alcohol marker or pencils, because I did mostly pencil on this one. But for this image, I based a lot of it with my Albert Dürer watercolor pencils. And then I went over it pretty much with polychromos. In some cases, I brought in a few Prismacolor pencils because I wasn't getting a shade I wanted, especially like this light aqua in here. There isn't really one in the polychromo set. So I went to actually a Holbein in that case, and then I did a little bit with Prismacolors around the water. But otherwise, it was mostly polychromos pencils. I also used the, it says I used, oh yeah, I did. I used the Art X acrylic markers in some places to remove the black lines, like around her. The color is so light that even after 3 passes over it to try to make it darker, I still couldn't eliminate the black line. So I kind of stopped, like having them in some places and not in others just didn't seem to make that much sense. So I left the black lines in the rest of the places, but I did use the Art X acrylic marker in a couple of spots. Actually, these dots are also acrylic paint pens, and they're the Ohuhus. So otherwise, I think that's it. It's mostly polychromos and Albert Dürer. So I finished my first page, and this was for the hashtag what T and Lovella have every month. And this was the June Color Your, hashtag June Color Your Horde. So there we go, Disney Dreams Collection, Thomas Kincaid Studios coloring book. The next image I'm going to be showing is from Dark Fables by Rogan Wolf. Excuse me. I don't know what to do about this, and if anyone wants to talk to me about it, I'd love to hear their opinion. I realized that this is an AI book. I did not know that when I purchased it. I didn't even know it when I did my first drawing. It really, when I did the cover page, it didn't seem like it was AI. I mean, the hands are perfect. Everything seemed perfect. But when I went to do the page I did, Yeah, this seems like it's AI because there were a lot of mistakes on this, things that didn't make sense, hairs that went into the jacket, like for example, is one of them. And there were a few others that it just didn't make sense. So I don't know whether this book is AI. I have to really research it. But my question is, once you've purchased the AI book, you know, I'm committed to only using real artists. So I think I just give the book away, I guess, because I purchased it already. It's too late for that, but I don't know if I continue coloring in it just because I purchased it. Or do I stick with my commitment and say, no, you can't, you're against it in theory, so you can't really do any more, which is a real shame because there are so many cool images in here. Look at that dragon, is awesome. Okay, the snake I wouldn't do. The troll I even like. He's mean looking, but he's cute mean. So I'm really bummed out about this, that it is most likely AI. But anyway, let me just go back to the page and I'll tell you what I did. This was for the Samways coloring hashtag Pride Man with Lipstick. That was it. So he's an elven prince. I wanted him to be kind of light with really vivid blue eyes. I used all Ohuhu alcohol markers. Everything was based in that, including like the black, well, you can't see anything because it's black, including the black background. Everything is Ohuhu markers. Then I took my Prismacolors and just, did the cheeks, the lips. And then I did a little bit of shading on the vest and the jacket with the Prismas. And that's all I did on the actual Elven Prince. I decided to get out my Arteza metallic paints and I painted whatever this thing is. I didn't know if it was just like a frame or didn't really know what to do with it. So I decided to make the background black, do this in metallic, watercolor paints, and then with this, the frame, what I consider the gold frame, I used my Signo Gold gel pen. And then at the last minute, I used some stickles in here just to make his necklace or bolo stand out a little bit more. And I did the same in the buttons. And that's the whole page. I did not use a lot of media here. It's mostly alcohol markers. So I like the way he came out. I think he came out pretty cool looking, and I like his makeup as well. I think he looks good. So that is The Elven Prince from Dark Fables by Rogan Wolf. Next up, I have I don't know if you call it a full book color along or a project book, but this is by Christina's Art Corner. Every month she picks out a page, puts it on Instagram so that we could all see what it is. And this month we did, I guess we're calling it, here's the Witch's Cat and Helpers with a little dragonette. And in this page, I didn't know what to do with the background, but let me look at my notes and I'll tell you what I did. Okay. I did a lot of basing with the Ohuhu alcohol markers, all of the cat and everything else, including these sparkles, were all based in alcohol markers. The background was not. And then I went over with my Prismacolors to do some shading. On these flowers, I actually used my Inktense pencils. And I think it was because this kind of came out so bright that I wanted to match the brightness, so I used the Inktense on the flowers. This in the background is a Posca marker, the acrylic marker. And then I used acrylic inks and paints for the splatters. Unfortunately, I don't have any near me. We are actually moving, so I started packing some things, and I think I packed those away. But they're just acrylic inks that you can get in most craft stores. It wasn't anything special. And one was a spray. So I sort of covered the cat and sprayed around it. And I really like the way it came out. I don't know if you could see the sparkles. I think you can there. But there you go. It's got this metallic sheen over the black, and the rest is just pencils. So I like the way it came out. I didn't know what to do with the backgrounds, and I just kind of winged it, and for one time it kind of turned out nicely. It doesn't always work that way though. Sometimes I wing it, it's a disaster, but I like the way this one came out. So this is from Spooky by Sarah Seswick, and it is for Christina Art Corner. The hashtag #WitchCatSpooky, and also hashtag Year of the Dragon, because I had a little dragon in there. Next is this absolutely gorgeous book by Lana Green, Garden Lady. I love this book. It is so stunning. That was the first page. And I actually just did the second page. I don't think I'm going to go in order. I think it's just a coincidence. However, I love this next one as well. So I don't know if I'm going to do 3 in a row, and then I'll figure out what to do with the rest. But in this one, I used Prismacolors for everything except the hair. The hair, I used my Polychromos. I also tried to cover up some of the black lines with the Art X paint pens. I also used the gel pens in Moonlight. I think it's called Moonlight. And I did some of the lines with those markers, those gel pens, and I really liked it because I was able to make such a nice thin line. That's just my one complaint about the Art X acrylic markers, is that for someone that is as heavy-handed as I am, the tip is a little bit too soft, and I find it really difficult to get thin lines. But with the Jelly Roll Moonlight, it really came out beautiful. I made her hair a little darker. That's the original. I did not put these spots in because I'm not too sure what they were. So I left my black background plain, and I made her eyes darker. I changed the color of one of the flowers because I didn't fully like just the yellow that sort of came from nowhere, although it's probably matching with the hair. But for mine, I just kept it in the pink, peachy, and one red tone. So everything else is pretty much very similar, if not exactly what Lana Green has. But otherwise, I think it's a lovely page. They are such lovely images. Look at the expression on her face. It just really looks like sadness to me, and I just think it's lovely. So that is Lana Green's Garden Lady. The next book I worked on is Hannah Carlson's Magical Dawn. Okay, and I did this page, and I absolutely love it. I think it came out so nice. And I used a lot of stuff here. The background is Neocolor 2. I am still having difficulty getting Neocolor 2s to come out looking smooth. If you can see, there's so many different variations, which, you know, it works for this page. It's not a problem. But I would like to get to the point that I could make a consistent wash over a whole page. But so Neocolor 2s, And then I went over with Prismacolor pencils to kind of make it like a glow around it. Then I used, okay, so I used Prismacolor pencils throughout the whole thing. Like everything that you see here, all the black, everything is done in pencil. I did go over the pencil with the Jelly Roll Gold to give it a metallic sheen. I used a white Derwent drawing pencil to lighten some of the gray around his feathers. And I used the Jelly Roll, I think it's glaze. I put that in the little dots that were on his feathers, and you probably can't see that it's raised up. No, I don't think you can. You can see it in the eyes a little bit, that I used metallic glaze there as well. But I like the gray dots that are all around here. In person, you can see that they're slightly raised, so it looks pretty nice actually. Again, even the beak, Prismacolor pencil, but then I went over it with a Jelly Roll to make it metallic. Down here, I used a combination of the Signo gel pen and the Jelly Roll gel pens. And I think that's it. I think here I tried to use some paint pen. It didn't come out good, so I just left the stars with the black lines around them. And everything else, I think, is just Prismacolor pencil. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see the metallic. I'm not seeing it on screen, to be honest, so I'm not sure you're going to. But I really love the page. I think he came out really cool. I did try to make at least the blue background the pink from the other page so that it wasn't so different. And then I added the aqua as kind of like a, you know, I guess a contrasting color, right? Green and red kind of. So I did like some contrasting color to hopefully add some interest. So I hope you like him. I do. I think he's cool. So that is Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. My next page is from Wildflower Folk. I had picked out and shown you 2 pages, you know, in my, June coloring plans. I did not color the one that I thought I was going to, but I colored this one with Jackie from Spare Room. What is it? Jackie, what is it? Spare Room Studio. Sorry, Jackie. We did this together, and her page is absolutely beautiful. She did hers in a warmer tone. You could see this if you, or both of them, if you go on my Instagram. I do not know how to do that thing that everyone does where they say, well, her page is going to be here now. So I have to learn how to do that. So I can't exactly show you Jackie's page. I'm sorry. But for this page, I used Neocolor 2 and the Distress crayons in the back. I used Prismacolor pencils pretty much for everything else. These were the Derwent watercolor pencils. I don't know if they have an additional name besides Derwent watercolor pencils, but hopefully you know the one I'm talking about. I also used it a little bit in the bird, but I did go over quite a bit with the Prismacolor pencils, so you can't see very much of the watercolor pencil any longer. And the rest, like I said, this is all Prismacolor pencil. So I think she came out cool. She's kind of like a hippie. Yeah, I guess a hippie would be the best word I could come up with, all of this tie-dye and the purple hair, but I don't know. She's beautiful anyway. So that is my buddy color with Jackie from Spare Room Studio. Jackie, thank you so much. It was fun, and your page is gorgeous. So that is Christine Karen's Wildflower Folk. My next book is a first time color. So this went for Teas and Lovella's hashtag June Color Your Horde. And I colored the cowgirl. Okay. The background. She came out beautiful. And in my head, I felt creative. Not always a good thing, though. Not always a good thing. I wanted to make it look like she's in at Wild West. Is she in Arizona? I don't really know. So I got some pictures of, I think it was Arizona, some skyline, and I tried to put it in. I colored it in all with Prismacolor pencils, and it came out way too dark. It did not look good. It took away from her. So then I went over it with a Derwent white pencil to try to make it more subtle. That didn't exactly work. So then I went with did I go over some of it with the Ardex pencils, acrylic paint pens? It's saying I did. Yeah, I'm not too sure where I put that, but it's possible that I did use the marker on a palette and tried to paint over it with the white. And somehow I did get it to recede by making it as whited out as I could. I just wanted it to be a hint of a background. It just didn't turn out that way when I originally had done it. So, but I think she still came out okay. All of her, except for maybe the red, this is a bustier? I'm not sure what you call it. So the red vest, everything else is Ohuhu alcohol markers as a base. And then I went over her with Prismacolor for all of the shading. And that's all I have on her. Oh, I have some metallic paint pen around the gold, and I did use the white Signo to kind of try to indicate that was glass. I tried to cover up some of the lines. That didn't really work, so I gave that up as well. And I used a little bit of the Signo silver gel pen to make some highlights on the gun. And I think that is it, but I really like the way she came out. I think her lips look weird to me, but I'm not sure if you can see the metallic, but there you can. I just think her lips are a little odd. I don't know if I just shaped them incorrectly, but I think she's lovely anyway. And I like her outfit. She really stands out. So that is from Lady Mechanica by Joe Benitez. The next book is this really big, The Curiosity Shop. Okay, it fits in frame. By Chris Price. And I did one page, and this is what I did. The majority is alcohol marker. And then I went over it with Prismacolor pencils to just do some shading. After a while, to be honest, I even stopped shading. It just got really monotonous to do all of these bottles and trying to shade them. So the ones like in the back there, I didn't bother shading. I shaded the ones more toward the front and the vase, and then I sort of gave up with that. So that's pretty much it. I honestly, I got a little bored. It was a little bit too many elements on a page for me personally, but it is a beautiful book. This is a lovely page. I'm happy that it's done. I'm happy that it came out okay, but I'm also happy that I'm not working in this probably for a while. And then the last book I have is the Alphonse Mucha book, also hashtag June Color Your Horde. So there are only 3. I did not get 4 like my book said, but that's okay. And I did a video of this. I like her. She came out really cool. I renamed her Amelia because my mom had this kind of nose. She didn't have long hair, and her hair was darker, but I don't know, there's something about her that reminds me of my mom, so I renamed her. And another bright idea, I wanted to see if I could use gold leaf in a coloring book. And the answer is yes, you can. I'm just not sure it's worth it. It is stunning in person. It is so shiny and beautifully. It is really gorgeous in person. But it was so fiddly. This stuff is so thin. It kept breaking and just, I didn't have the right glue. I thought the other glue would ruin the paper, and I'm not sure it was a great idea. And then someone mentioned some metallic paint that would be as shiny as this. I wrote it down somewhere. I don't have it with me, but someone recommended a really high glitter, high shine paint, watercolor, I think. And that would have been a lot better than doing it this way. But I'm glad I tried it. It was something different. You know, every once in a while we have to stretch our muscles a little bit, even if it doesn't work really well. But overall, I'm really happy with the page. So that's it, guys. Those were my 9 pages. I had a lot of fun in June. I loved everything I did, even if it didn't come out perfect. It was fun to do, and I really had a great month. I have a lot of things picked out for July. I don't know if you saw my July coloring video, but I linked it in my profile if you want to see it. So everyone, thank you again so much for commenting, subscribing, and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys, or hopefully I'll see you guys the next video. So have a great coloring month, guys. Bye.